Maybe we aren't improving, we're just repeating or not giving something even enough time for it to work. Now answer these few questions here. Are you hitting your protein goal? Are you getting your water in? How's your sleep? And then are you working hard in the gym? 4 variables there. And I realize if one of them's off, that's where the answer exactly is. Now, number 1, let's start with the sleep concept, just because most of us can get to bed early, but we decide not to, right? It's a discipline to get to bed early and get to bed on time and find that sweet spot. I know there's a lot going on, family, studying, you name it, but just really think about the return on investment when it comes to sleep and puts you in that better fat burning state, muscle building state. That's really going to be the driving factor. Now, of course, you can't just be a good sleeper and not get any food in, right? But once we're healthy, we're in that healthy state hormonally, and we're sleeping well, that's when our body can use all the resources properly. So next, water, right? If we have some sort of jug or gallon or at least half gallon or third gallon, we can have a good idea through the day if we're getting that water intake in. It's easy just in milliliters just to divide your body by 2. Some like 200 pounds divided by 2 is 100 milliliters. But if it's an active day, especially sauna, I'm doing well over that. So my normal day would be maybe just barely under a gallon, and then my active days would definitely be going over a gallon. So that's a good general starting point there for hydration. All right, next, let's look at food. The hardest part, the biggest meal prepping. Are you gonna bring your cooler and your meals with you? What are you gonna eat on the road to hit that protein goal? Do you have to stop and get a smoothie? Are you gonna track that Chipotle? The protein goal is the hardest one, and the reason being because it requires the most time and intention. So if we can at least hit the protein goal, we can focus on the carbs and the fats, but really we're altering those based on activity levels, and we want to keep things simple, hitting our protein goal and then making sure that the carbs and everything else are just at a good place. Depending on how busy or how active our routine is, we're going to make results there. Next, let's look at the training. And the reason I put the training last is because the training is something that really requires the least amount of time out of all these variables. Think about it. You're at the gym for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. The time you're drinking water through the day, the time you're eating food, and the time that you're sleeping are far more heavy weighted variables than the gym. Now, let's talk about the gym sessions themselves. Are you giving a routine enough time for it to work, right? Are you running exercise 1, 2, and 3 pretty consistently for 6+ weeks so you can build strength in those movement patterns? Now you need to also determine, is there 1 or 2, really hard sets, and we're also asking ourselves, are we taking those 1 to 2 sets, are we pushing those? And I like to use Rep Count on my phone. It's a free app, and you can look at what you did last week, and you can put notes too, like +2 partials, or this lift for this many reps to failure. That way you can circle back and develop this baseline of strength, as well as where you can bust out a couple more reps, or you can throw 5 more pounds on the bar. That's going to be one of the best quantitative measures of how we're actually getting stronger in the gym, because you don't just put on a bunch of muscle mass and not get stronger. I mean, you can get stronger right away, and then the muscle mass will kind of catch up a little bit later, but we generally have to get stronger, right? It's strength training. And if you're cutting, or if you're cardiovascular prioritized, whatever it is, having some sort of rep count or traceability to exactly where you sit with that stimulus that you're putting on your body when you go to the gym, whether it's how long you're running, how fast you're running, how many reps, and how many reps to failure. These are all really good ways to make sure there's a quantitative measurement. So we're gonna look at water, we're gonna look at food, we're gonna look at sleep, and then we're gonna look at training and go, are we giving this enough time to actually run its course? And am I tracking so that there's an ability to see if we're maintaining strength or building strength? So These 4 categories, don't let anyone confuse you. These are the 4 places that we have to look at, and one of them is probably off if there's not results that we don't want, whether it's fat burning or muscle gaining or mental energy or cardiovascular energy. It's going to come down to those 4 categories. So let me hear you guys, let me hear feedback from you guys on maybe what's complicated it for you in the past, and if these 4 categories make sense, where do you find the most resistance, and let's see if we can break those barriers together. All right, love you guys.